Hey guys, it's Lewis or the Gaming Rift here, and today I'm bringing you another Transformers related top 5 as you guys really liked the Optimus Prime related video. Today, due to popular demand, we're going to be doing the top 5 most brutal Autobot deaths in the Transformers films. Now keep in mind guys, obviously I'm only going to be limiting it to one death per character, but that should be self-explanatory. Also, I'm going to be taking death scenes from all of the films. So essentially, from Transformers 2007 all the way to The Last Knight, those deaths will be included. As always guys, this is just my own personal opinion. Some deaths are more brutal than others, and you may like certain characters more, which their deaths may have affected you more than me. This is just my own personal ranking, so if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Now let's get into the top 5. So starting the list in the number 5 spot, we have Q or Wheeljack's death from Transformers Dark of the Moon. Now, this death scene was pretty brutal, however, in comparison to what's to come, it is on the tame side, as this is basically just kind of like a standard sort of execution, you know, sort of like what you'd expect from Death Row, that sort of thing, where the Autobots were kept prisoner, and Soundwave literally drags his ass all the way over to where this protoform then executes him by firing 2 shots into his body, and the second blast being so powerful that it literally makes his head fall off. Now I think what makes this even more brutal is the fact that you can hear Q visibly like protesting and begging for his life, and the fact that he actually survives the first shot makes it all the more devastating. Not to mention Bumblebee's reaction immediately after witnessing his friend and colleague die. It brings the tears to your eyes, it really does.
I understand. No prisoners, only trophies.
B, I think they're going to kill us.
Your time is up.
Wait. We surrendered. We're your prisoners.
Move it.
Can't we talk this out? We're all a bunch of good chaps. I mean, you know. Why did you... Goodbye, my old friend.
Coming in at the number 4 spot guys, we have Ratchet's death from Transformers Age of Extinction. Now what makes this death all the more brutal is obviously the way he goes out, where Lockdown essentially monologues and then proceeds to offer Ratchet a choice, which, you know, he says, you can survive this if you give up the location of your leader, which Ratchet, being the goat that he is, obviously refuses to the bounty hunter's face. However, this results in one of the more brutal deaths in the series, as Ratchet literally gets, you know, his body torn into and his spark or heart essentially basically just torn out and then kept by Lockdown as nothing more than a trophy, which really not only makes the death all the more brutal, but really sets up Lockdown as just this cold, heartless killer. And it's such a shame as well. Even prior to this death scene, he took a beating from the humans, you know, using the Cybertronian weapons, and it just made it all the more brutal.
Lockdown.
Autobots, Decepticons, like little children, always fighting, making a mess out of the universe. Then I've got to clean it up. There is one way you survive. Tell me where he's hiding. Where is Optimus Prime?
Never.
Never is here.
At the number 3 spot, we have a possible controversial choice, as I know some people who would have this at number 1, but we have Ironhide's death scene. Now, why is this brutal? Well, for one, it is a pretty slow death, which I think makes it stand out from the deaths we've had previously, where essentially this cannon that Sentinel Prime fires into Ironhide, first of all, he fires 2 shots into him, so it's already a step up from Q's execution, as both Autobots suffered 2 shots, however Ironhide's is a more slow death, as essentially this cannon that Sentinel Prime uses makes whatever target has been fired at essentially rust away into nothing, and that is what we see happen to poor Ironhide, as he's forced to watch himself literally rot away. And obviously, you know, the fact his head falls off as well makes it all the more brutal and such a sad death, as this is one of the most iconic Autobots in the films, and for him to go out so suddenly and so brutally, it's just, it's heartbreaking, it really is.
For the sake of our planet's survival, a deal had to be made with Megatron. What have you done? I hereby discharge you from duty.
Back to the base! Come on, no!
The jump for the final 2 spots is immense, as coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Optimus Prime's death himself. Now, why is this death so brutal? Well, I don't need to explain it. He essentially gets his ass kicked by 3 Decepticons, and one of them being Megatron, so it's not like he's getting killed by fodder. He essentially gets a load of minor injuries, gets a fucking roundhouse kick from Megatron, gets, you know, tossed around like a ragdoll, then proceeds to get shot by the plasma blast, and this is all before the actual death scene. Like, this guy takes a beating. Then with the actual death itself, he gets impaled through the back by Megatron's blade, and then proceeds to get his spark or heart literally blasted out by another one of Megatron's fusion blasts. And what's even more impressive about all of this is that Optimus actually survives it all for a few seconds, long enough to give Sam instructions to run and put as much distance between him and the Decepticons as he can. Seriously, Optimus is the GOAT, but this death scene was brutal, let's be honest. Before we get to the number 1 spot, guys, I just want to remind you all again to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Now, with that being said, let's get to the one death scene that didn't quite make the list.
In my Decepticon life, I never did a thing worth doing until now. Optimus, take my parts, and you will have a power you've never known. Fulfill your destiny.
With that being said, guys, the most brutal Autobot death, in my opinion, is Jazz from the original Transformers movie. Now, why is his death the most brutal? Well, essentially, it's the most long, drawn-out kill of all of them on this list. You know, Optimus Prime's death may have been long and drawn out, but at the very least, he could resist a lot of what the Decepticons were throwing his way. Jazz, in my opinion, was the weakest of the original 5 Autobots, and he had to go against Megatron of all people. Like, come on, it was never going to go well for him. What exactly happened? So first, he gets shot by the fusion cannon. This same cannon can hurt Optimus Prime very badly, I might add, so God knows how much pain this little shit was currently feeling. He then gets dragged away from the battlefield by Megatron himself, and then proceeds to get torn in half by the waist. Megatron literally tears his dumbass in half, and then proceeds to mock him. But that's not all. You know, when Optimus engages Megatron, Megatron tosses Jazz's body parts into the side of a building where they presumably fall all the way to the ground. But miraculously, Jazz survives all of this and then proceeds to die via blood loss or energon loss, as hinted at by Ratchet and Ironhide's quote later on in the film. Like, fucking hell. Like, Megatron, have you done enough to this guy? You've literally, like, caused the deaths of millions across the universe, but I think this may have been your most brutal kill yet, buddy.
It's Megatron, retreat! Move! Fall back! Oh, you got Megatron! Come here, little cretin. You want a piece of me? You want a piece? No! I want two! Megatron Prime! Prime, we couldn't save him. Oh, jazz.
With that being said though guys, if you managed to make it to the end of the video without crying, you're a goat. Feel free to let me know how you enjoyed the video in the comment section down below. If you want me to do the most brutal Decepticon deaths, or if you want to see me do another transformation video, feel free to let me know down below. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, once again, all that good stuff guys. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Have a nice day everyone, and I'll see you all on the next one. This has been Lewis, the Gaming Riff, signing out.